Hi, I'm Aiman, and welcome back to my gardening videos for 2020. Like I said in my previous video, I'm going to be doing some weekly or bi-weekly updates continuously on my mom's garden and my dad's transformation of my mom's garden. So here we are for the week of mid-April, and as you can see behind me, a lot of changes are taking place. My dad is retransforming the garden. And with that, spring is also transforming my mom's garden. As you can see behind me, all the trees are budding, they're blooming, like the Asian pears. Actually, the pluots aren't really budding that much. I'm sorry, that's actually not a pluot tree. Our pluot trees died, but the peaches, the pink ones in the back, they're actually blooming beautifully. Same thing with the cherries, and I guess with the non-fruit trees over there, they're also blooming beautifully, but what we're worried about right now is the garden, so we're going to be talking about the fruits. Also mentioning the fruits, you might have seen the T-shaped stakes that my dad put in these boxes. And these plants are actually blackberry bushes. That's pretty cool, right? And like I said before in the last video, there's also bamboo stakes that my dad put up for the, I think, Brussels sprouts. Like I said in my last video, we've been working a lot on these garden boxes. Go check out that video if you haven't. But you can see behind me, there are our tomato trellises. As you can see, we've quite updated these old totes, these plastic totes, with these new wooden boxes. And most of these, I'm pretty sure, are made from scrap wood using the same method that we used to build this garden box. And I'm pretty sure that's most of what we have for the tomato trellises. So what we're going to do is, we saved the best for last, is go to my mom's fenced-in garden. And this is where we have the most changes taking place. Okay. So, the first thing you'll notice right off the bat is that the garden beds are raised. Part of this is also following the same methodology that we use for the garden beds. We want to raise these garden beds so that my mom would have a more funner time gardening. And as you can see, they're a bit smaller and a bit more thinner than these other boxes. And the reason why is because if you come here closely, you'll see that the wood has started to decay. And when we try to knock them back in, the screws are a bit rusted, the wood's decayed, so we might as well just entirely rebuild them. I mean, well, as you can see here, we still have the base, but we just added another few planks of wood in order to make it look nicer, but also to make it less ugly. So the dimensions of this old wood down here is about, this is a 2x10, but this right here is a 2x6. My dad wanted to make the garden beds higher, maybe 24 inches, but that would have cost too much. However, it works out because my mom can just, pull out the weeds in this position here. So it should work out. And I mentioned earlier that the garden beds got a bit smaller. They got a bit thinner. They're actually, I think, 3 inches thinner on each side from the old boxes. And the reason why is because when we first built this garden, we didn't have these totes in mind. That's actually not the reason why. It's part of the problem. Actually, what happens is the reason that we have these totes is because the deer came in and we wanted to move more plants into this garden because it's fenced in, so we added these totes. But anyway, as we moved in totes, we realized that the space to navigate around this garden really got limited. In this area right here, it used to be like really small, I think 1.5 feet. And you can actually see it right here. This is pretty thin. And so my dad, by decreasing the size of the garden beds, has made the whole garden more navigable. Is that a word? It's easier to navigate. But besides the garden beds, my dad has also played around a bit with the fence. I don't know if I mentioned this in one of my videos before, but we've had a beaver problem, and they've actually snuck under the fence somewhere. We're still not sure. Yeah, so to continue on to that, we spent so long figuring out where exactly they came into the garden. First off, we tried to build up on the side there with the river rocks, and we're going to continue doing that. But we realized that the most likely point of entry was this place right here. Because of this really tangled, overgrown area, it made it hard for my dad to clear up the weeds with the weed whacker. Especially if you look like here, you can see that it's all torn up and stuff. So we're guessing that this was the most likely point of entry for the beavers. So what we're doing right now is we're trying to block it off using this wood. But we're also going to try to block off other points of entry, like I said before. Alright, so first off, our planting space in this garden has decreased, but also the number of tomato trellises or totes that we had used to be 14. As you can see right now, it's 3x3, so it's only 9. We've also lost planting space for the tomatoes. So what we're trying to do is we're also trying to use the materials that we also have. We don't want to waste them. So what we're going to do is we're going to line this area outside here, and also the area in the back there, which used to be a strawberry walkway. We're going to line it with the totes, because if we have the totes, you might as well use them for planting, because, you know, we want to maximize our planting space. And also, we use the totes sometimes, right? But we also do things like using tires. And we've actually done that with bamboo. So if you want to see our video on that, go check it out. But for now, we're going to keep going. Alright, so if you follow behind me, that's an old okra plant. But right here, we're going to be talking about the trellis. So as you can see over there, my dad has already taken down one trellis. And what we've harvested from that trellis is this old cable. So we're going to rebuild the trellises, but we're going to do it with some new specifications. We're going to reuse the old cable because right now that's about, I think 100, I might be saying this wrong, 100 feet of cable, or 500, I might be wrong. But anyway, this is good cable, and right now it would cost us $60 to $100, so we might as well reuse it. And we're also going to be reusing it for my mom's specifications of what she wants the new trellises to be like. First specification, she wants it to be about this high. Because, you know, she's not going to be able to reach the top levels, if you get my drift. But we're also going to make it, if you look at this lattice pattern, you can see that we have about a 9-inch by 9-inch squares. What we're going to be doing is making these squares a bit smaller, probably 6 inches between wires. Oh, and my mom also, I'm not sure if you guys remember this. Actually, we can just point to it over there. But my brother Emiro, for his wedding, he built a sort of arbor, a wedding arbor that had like a sort of top covering. But I'm not sure how to describe it, but that's exactly what my mom sort of wants with this this trellis. I mean, another example could be that that grapevine, that roof thing. She wants it over these trellises. I'm not sure if I described it correctly, but that's essentially the idea. All right, so I think that's most of it. Let's move on to the other side of the backyard. As you can see, my dad is continuously retransforming my mother's garden. Alright, so while I'm here, I should mention that by making those garden beds over there taller, we also had to bring in a lot more dirt. If you remember earlier, when we were trying to make our bamboo by the riverside, we needed a lot of... Okay, I don't see any examples. We needed a lot of sandbags. And where we got our sand was we actually used dirt from here to fill them up. So because we had this big area of dirt, we decided to just use it all to fill those garden beds. Now then, on this side, we have some roses. So what my dad did was last February, or I think this February, he took some clippings from our double knockout roses and he planted them in the ground. So hopefully, the plan is when they all grow, we're going to try to line the entire backyard with them. They're also between these spruce trees, which we got cheap from Lowe's because they were on sale. I think it was $2 from $10. But anyway, as you can see, this fence over here, this fence side, is going to look really cool. And I guess finally, these raspberries have moved quite a bit. And not particularly these raspberries, because our raspberries actually used to be over there. And they actually used to be over there too. We've had to relocate them for various reasons, but as you can see right now, we have 3 boxes that have raspberries. And I guess there's also bamboo there, but that's not new. And I believe that's it. So, I'm Aiman, and like I said, we're going to be doing these updates either every week or every 2 weeks on the transformation of my mom's garden. And that's it for now. So please like, comment, subscribe, and look at other videos on EyeOnAiman, especially videos about the transformation of my mom's garden. Like I said, I think I said that like 5 times in this video. And I guess you can also look at videos of Bella or Burton. I have a lot of those on my channel. But for now, I guess that's it. I'll see you there, and how do I usually close it? I'm Aiman, and signing out. Peace.